The Airmen of the 122nd Fightermen celebrated the arrival of the first two F-16 Vipers yesterday, marking the second iteration of F-16s for Army. The Blacknecks are proud of our time-honored tradition of fighters, and the Fort first operated the F-16 fighters out of Fort Wayne from 1991 to 2010. In 69 historical years of fighters in the Fort, the 122nd has flown 7 different primary aircraft under the state flag of Indiana. Previously, the 122nd Fighter Group out of Stout Field, Indianapolis, before moving to our home here at Bearfield. We would later become known as the 122nd Fighter Wing. We now have the absolute honor and privilege of flying one of the Air Force's most proven multi-role fighter jets, the F-16 Viper. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce the Assistant Adjutant General and Commander of the Air National Guard of the great state of Indiana, Brigadier General Michael Stoller.
Thanks a lot. And is the mic good? Sounds like it's good. I just was standing here just grinning because the length of time it took for us to get that airplane here in this hangar is years. And I'll go back and I'll tell the story how we got to the point where we're at. But I did want to introduce this STOHLER for the side of the cockpit there. I'm pretty sure I remember how to start that thing. But no, all fun aside, thank you to our distinguished guests here today. You were instrumental in getting this airplane back, and you've always been supportive of this unit. Unlike some places in our nation, you are steadfast and you support the men and women in uniform, so congratulations on that. I really appreciate that. Men and women of the 122nd Fighter Wing, you did it. You're 100% man. It gives no excuse for anybody in the Air Force, the Air National Guard, to do anything different but to give us cool things like this sitting in a hangar. So congratulations on that and your staff for getting us to this point. I want to walk back just a little bit because a lot of people don't understand how we went from F-16s to A-10s. It wasn't the A-10 a great airplane, and why are you going back to an F-16? So I want to walk you through a little bit, but the whole driving factor is our national defense strategy. And that is to be able to fight near-peer wars, and of course China is the big one that we're looking at right now, but you know the world's not safe, and we need aircraft that can fly multiple missions, and that's what the F-16 does. If you go back in our history of the 122nd here, in the early 90s, we transitioned from F-4s to F-16s. And I'm going to tell you the story as I go through about 25 years here to let you understand where I'm at state and why I do the strategic things that I do. And I think it'll be pretty apparent as we work our way through the years. In 91, we got the F-16. We got F-16s as the active duty was reducing their force structure after Desert Storm. They started sending F-16s out to guard units and updating our equipment. So we were happy to have that airplane. About 3 years into that conversion, they decided to shift gears and say, no, we're going to get rid of more F-16s. Some guard units actually started flying Predators, some did other missions, some transitioned to 135s, tankers, and transports. We were slated to go to 135s just a few years into the conversion of the F-16. And I was just a young lieutenant at the time, and I saw my squadron commander say, that's not right, that's not best for America, it's not best for Indiana. Started talking with our local congressional folks. At the time it was Representative Joe Long, and we also started talking to Senator Lugar at the time, and they pushed back, and they got that changed and turned around for us. So we flew fighters from the 90s all the way up until past the second, I call it the second Desert Storm of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And then we saw more BRAC happen, more closures happen. We saw our sister unit Terre Haute lose their F-16s. All of this was going on, and I would say that Indiana didn't have a good strategy at the time. We were more reactive on the air side especially. I think the Army side had it down, but the air side was very reactive. And I got to see this as we moved on. So we lost the sister unit. They got a great mission, incredible mission. They're doing 24/7 ops right now. You can imagine the world going on, but they're disseminating a lot of classified information and getting that information out to that commanders to make decisions. So highly effective and important mission, but we did lose the flying mission. In Fort Wayne, we continued on for a few years, and we actually brought up some of those pilots. This was one of them, and started flying them up here. And we got about 2008, and we were transitioning into a Block 30, a little bit newer airplane. And the Guard came back to us and said, hey, by the way, your Block 30s are going to go away, but we're going to give you an airplane that's going to last till 2040. It's called the A-10. And we're like, yeah, we know the A-10. an awesome airplane. You know, they're going to scrape these A-10s from all around the world, 1s and 2s, and they're going to build a squad and they're going to give it to us because the Black Snakes are awesome. And that's the sum of it. They know that at National, they respect you, they respect how you do your work, your Midwest work ethic, and the supporting community. So they wanted to take care of us. So 2040, 2 years into, not even 2 years into the conversion, they came back to us and said, the Air Force is going to get rid of all A-10s. We're going to give you C-12s, which is a little King Air. Important mission at the time, reconnaissance and surveillance, but not an enduring mission. And it would have wiped half of the men and women standing here wouldn't have had a job. It would have wiped half of our force off of this space. It probably set us up for closure down the road. So again, we started fighting that, so that's not appropriate. Got our congressional folks behind us and turned that around and became a premier A-10 unit as we moved forward. Got into about 2015, a few deployments under our belts, and we had an officer out working at the guard drill, and he said, hey, my current F-16s coming available. So we've been working, getting airplanes back here since about 2015. And if you remember in the late 2015, 17, 18, up to the point is we were trying to actually transition back from A-10. At the same time, save the A-10 momentum was going. Senator out of Arizona was important and key to that, and kept the A-10 around, Senator McCain, and that also delayed our transition back. So it wasn't until recently we were able to reflect back to 2017, where we had Senator Donnelly, I think, put in our NDAA language in there that said we could convert. So we were able to go back with that with the help of our current code else, everyone who's serving in office today, and we were able to vector back to this airplane and eventually build a coalition of states that had A-10s, and we all agreed upon Fort Wayne could reduce their airplanes. We could reduce 21 to 22 airplanes in the Air Force, and we could get our airplanes from Holloman, where we ended up getting today. So it's pretty amazing as you look at that, how that happens and how it forms an officer, a general officer today, to say that's not going to happen again. And that's what we've been working on for the last 5 to 6 years. And I told the Adjutant General, Major General Lyles, I said as soon as the first F-16 lands, we will start working on the F-35. And that's what we're going to do. So when I walk out here, my whole mission now is to get F-35s here for longevity purposes. We've already started last year working on modernization of the base. We don't know what that's going to look like yet, but we're working with our representatives to try to get that figured out. And I think we're gaining momentum on that to make sure this base is viable and ready to do the nation's call or to do the governor's call at any time. This airplane's going to help you get there, you know that. You got 1,000 airmen that are ready to rock and roll and touch this thing and get it flying. Doesn't matter what you do on this base. If you're a supply, if you're fuels, if you're making food for the airmen, if you're protecting them, watching over the iron, twisting wrenches on this thing, flying it, every single one of you on this base is going to make that airplane fly. So don't forget that. And for our congressional folks and our team players in our community, God bless you, because I'll tell you what, you're the real reason that we're here. We cannot get and protect and get the right things from the Air Force without a voice, and most of the time that voice comes from our civilian leaders. So God bless you for that. And the last thing I want to say is, Rebecca, where are you at? Damn, man, that was an awesome national anthem. I had goosebumps, I almost started crying. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, General Stoller. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our 122nd Fighter Wing Commander, Colonel Joshua Wagner.
Thanks, Michael. Here we go. All right, good. First, thanks. First, beautiful student. So, welcome out of you doing this, and willing to take that bullet for us. She volunteered. At least that's what she told me. I'm not sure that was the case. First off, I just have a few quick things to talk about. Number one, thank you. So, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really, first, General Stoller, you were here for the duration. You saw this thing again. You predicted what would happen. You fought a good fight. You got your gift on the ring. So, this is the first two. We got 19 left to go, and they'll all be here by Christmas of next year, and you're a big part of that. So, thank you, sir. To our community partners, community leaders, honorary commanders, men in the wing, and our elected officials, thank you as well. We couldn't do it without the support and the enduring support. We come and go. Colonel Stiller was here longer than most, but I'm out of here in a couple of years. Thumbs up. Several will be here, like there are guys that are going to be around. People could be here if he wasn't flying right now. But there are people here that will represent the wing in the community, but our time is short and we couldn't do it without you. We know that you're going to be here, we can depend on you, and we know that you have our best interests at heart at all times. So, thank you. Keep fighting a good fight and taking care of the men and women that are coming up through the ranks. I talked to a kid from AFP, that's Air Crew Flight Equipment. He's the guy that's going to take care of our stuff. And it was his first drill. So, my first drill was 27 years ago. Your first drill was probably a few more than that. But this base will be here. We'll be doing the job. And guys like that kid are going to be here long after we're gone and forgotten. So, you'll all be here supporting his career just as long as he did mine. So thank you for that. And thanks to Airmen 127. So we wouldn't have gotten these aircraft regardless of the influence of the community, the pull that we have on the air staff, the goodwill we generated over the years without you doing the job. So if you were to put one A-10 in somebody's backyard, it would look bad and we may not have had this. If we had one arrest downtown, it would reflect the poorly on the community and the wing, and we wouldn't have these airplanes. So you guys are the reason we have these, and you're the reason that I'm comfortable and I've known that in spite of the conversion and all the challenges, that's how we're going to be successful. So thanks to you. Couple other quick things. Number one, you can't tell I'm kind of excited. So this is awesome. It's really good. I just completed the senior officer course. So after I completed this thing for 9 years, then we dominated the A-10 for 13 years, and now I'm stepping back into this airplane after a little bit of a hiatus, and I'm excited to do it. It is a crowd pleaser, and it is a people pleaser. I said we're going to go in, and I want to convey that excitement to you. You should be excited about doing this too. It's something different. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a lot of fun. With the new jet, we get new missions, and we've secured our future for us for a period of time. But just like Colonel Stoller said, we're not going to settle for that. We're going to keep pushing for what's next after this. This ensures a mission for now. But I want that kid that was in AFP this morning to finish 20 years from now with Jets on the right. So we want to keep Jets in perpetuity. We will have Friday report for as long as we can. And I think we have the right people in the room to make that happen. And the other thing is, this kid's back in the fight. I don't know about you, but I feel for my wife, she's not here. I like to deploy. We're doing God's work, we're doing the mission. We're going out there and we're accepting the challenge and we dominate and we're given that opportunity. And this will get us back into that fight. We don't have to worry about not knowing the future or finding another place where you can serve. You can serve right here, knowing that your efforts are going to go towards putting those jets in the air to fight one America's wars. So, this keeps us in the fight, and we're excited about that. And the last thing I want to say is you're ready. You are. You may not know it, but you're ready for this. Like I said, I finished the stop, that course. And for the record, I'm twice as old now as I was the first time I went to an F-16 training course. So, like, doubled my age. And when I walked out the door, I thought, man, this is going to be hard on a dude whose neck is already jacked up and has sciatica. But no big deal. I was ready. It took me a couple looks, but I got in that jet. I knew what to do with it, and after a little bit of effort, a whole lot of work, I was able to successfully employ it. And if you don't think you can accept this challenge, you're wrong. You can. You're ready. And if you're not ready, we'll get you ready, because we have to have you ready to do the mission. You're going to learn how to fly it. You're going to learn how to fight with it. You're going to learn how to fix it. You're going to learn how to maintain and sustain it. You're going to learn how to take care of each other as you build and develop those skills to be a successful wing, and I have full faith in you. I know these guys do too. Last is, you don't have any choice. You have to be ready. The world is a dangerous place, and it's really just becoming more so. We might be called upon in support missions sooner rather than later. We expect that there are people that are going to go down range within the next year. These jets, we will have 8 jets, so the right number of pilots and the right number of maintainers to send these jets somewhere else in April of 2026. Mark my word. That's the mandate. We're going to have the ES rating, we're going to have the right people to fly them, and the right people to maintain them. So you have to get ready, you have to get your job done so you can meet that mission. There's a lot to do. Just look around. That is an old, beat up, dirty, smelly, awesome jet. And we're going to get 21 of those, and we're going to gold plate them, and we're going to make them guard ready, and we're going to send them off the board. It's going to take every one of you people to do that. So get ready, it's going to happen. Again, thank you to everyone up front. Thanks to the press for covering this. It's important that we build relationships in the community, and you do that for us. Thank you very much. Thanks to the men on the stage, and back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Colonel Wagner. We thank you all for celebrating with us and witnessing this historical event as we usher a new chapter of fighter jets into the future for the 122nd Fighter Wing.